All right, welcome back to Lower Keys Living, everybody. Been a beautiful couple of days. No wind, water's been flat. Just dodging a lot of thunder and lightning storms. But today decided to head out do some trolling. Picked up this little bonita out over the top of the Wilkes-Barre. But my main goal was to head on out and do some reef fishing, testing out the dry chum mix. I've never used it before. Haven't talked to anybody that had, but wanted to troll for some mahi and tuna. So after the Wilkes-Barre, I headed up to about 540 feet of water, found a little weed line, hooked up what I thought was maybe a little schoolie mahi here. And then the closer it got, I was thinking, oh, probably just a small Almaco jack. But lo and behold, had a really, really nice weed line plastic bag. Uh, that was the extent of my success on the weed line. So headed in, this is the mix I was talking about. This YellowTail Up snapper chum. It's a dry mix. Has a bag of liquid cloud, which is Manhattan oil that you mix in with it. But again, you mix everything in this bag, and then it comes with a small chum bag, and I wanted to compare it to what I normally use, the different types of frozen chum that I put in. Problem with this is the water's been so warm. These chum blocks haven't been lasting nearly as long. Um, so in comparison wise, those frozen chums usually run about $14 down here. I got the bag of mix here for $18 at the local shop. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Comes in a bag. You can keep those on the boat. You don't need to keep it frozen. It's shelf stable, so you can keep it a long time, which I really like being able to leave that on. Not have to worry about the frozen chum. Plus, I like to go out trolling a lot before I hit the reef. So stuff tends to melt pretty quick. And again, with the really warm water temperatures, almost 90 degrees, the frozen chum is just melting and dissipating really quick. So going through a little bit more. So I thought I'd give this a shot. Again, it comes with this bag of chum cloud, which is a fish oil, this great big bag of oats and ground fish, small particles of fish dried up in here. You pour that chum cloud into this bag of oats, mix it up just with your hand, tie the bag off, mix it up for a minute, really get it all soaked in there, and it really absorbs well. And then you're supposed to let that sit for 8 minutes. So I've mixed it up, letting it sit. Just wanted to show the water here. I'm at about 22 feet of water, and it's just one of those crystal clear water days out here. And since I had 8 minutes to kill, decided to throw the drone up, give you an idea of where I'm at and what this area looks like. If you've seen my earlier videos, I frequent this spot a lot. It's a nice strip in between two of the main reefs out by Pelican Shoals. And it goes from here 20, 25 feet out to 60 to 90 feet in just a matter of about 25, 30 yards. So I always try and time this where I set up here in the shallow water with an outgoing tide so that chum line drifts out and then drops down into the deeper water. Really does a nice job pulling the big fish up. Trust me on that one. It did not happen today because, believe it or not, despite the surface wind making it look like there's current, there was no current whatsoever today. Everything I put in the water was just dropping straight down. Um, the other thing is, if you want to take notes, if you're into lobstering, this area is phenomenal for lobstering. Uh, One of the challenging things here when I'm fishing and I've got knocker rigs on the bottom is there's so many crevices that as soon as the fish grab the bait, they are taken off into a hole to eat it, and stuff gets locked up all the time, snagged on the bottom. Fish get wrapped up in there. So it's always a fight to get those out or getting those up really quick. But there's so many crevices, as you can see it here. This is one of my favorite lobster grounds, and it's so infrequently hit. And it's such a great big area. So beautiful spot for lobstering. If you can free dive that in 15 to 25 to 30 feet, a great spot for that, or a great spot for diving. If you want a little shallower spot, you can move up shallower spots on the reef, but those tend to get picked over pretty well by the casual boaters and snorkelers. But if you can do a little free dive, if you can handle that 20-foot depth, for a minute or two. Great place for lobstering. And again, you can see the channels in between the reef out here. Just a beautiful, beautiful spot and really productive for fishing. I catch everything out here. So now I've got the bag in the water. You can see the cloudiness that it's putting. And I was really hoping to get some aerial footage of that cloudiness from above so you can see the slick it was putting in. But because there was no current, it was really just sinking straight down to the bottom. It did draw in the ballyhoo. Holy smokes, I was swarmed with ballyhoo all afternoon for the 2 hours that I was out here. The ballyhoo really loved the stuff that was in this bag. Also, if you watch, I do bring out lobster carcasses, the carapace, the stuff that we don't eat on these. Sometimes I mash them up. These are somewhat broken up, and I just toss these in. They'll sink pretty quickly. They're fairly heavy. They're good sinkers, so really helps bring fish into the bottom, create some activity down on the bottom. So real nice, and you can see just all the legs and stuff going in. Just adding to the chum line, the more stuff I can put out there. And I like doing this because I really don't like just throwing those carcasses away. And you're really not supposed to throw those in your canals. It didn't take long. I did get a lot of schools of small yellowtail, really feeding on that stuff. I pulled up the small yellowtail, didn't get any big one. My whole day was spent like this. But not the whole day, but the 2 hours I was out here just constantly pulling these small yellowtail off. But the small yellowtail definitely loved this. And I really think I would have had a lot of success with the bigger yellowtail if the current was moving the way I was hoping it was and running that chum line out off the edge of the reef down to the bottom. For the bottom, I use this simple little knocker rig. I put the slip weight right over my main line to a swivel and then right down to a really small circle hook. Then I just put shrimp on that, drop that down to the bottom. And again, with the chum going straight down, the bottom was really active today. It was never more than a minute or two before I dropped that down and I fish on. So this is the area I'm at. You can see all the reef line here. And this shot, again, was about after 45 minutes or so. You can see there's still lobster legs floating around the boat. So just to show you how little current there was. And again, you can see on the right rod, I've got a small one on. You can see the line is tight on the left rod. So again, I didn't get the big ones that I was hoping for, but it was super busy. So overall, really, really pleased with this chum mix. I think for the small price difference, I will stock up on that and bring that with me and keep that out. I can actually keep that in a boat and not worry about it. Don't need to worry about freezing. Again, it was super easy to mix and seemed super effective. I like how cloudy it made the water. And again, next time, if I can get some more current, I'll get the drone up and really try and show that cloudy chum line drifting up behind the boat. But again, that just was not happening today with no current whatsoever. But yeah, it was a field day for the small yellowtail. Would have been a great day to have kids out on the boat. They would have been super busy catching fish all day. But if I'm fishing, I'd much rather be catching the bigger ones. Here you can watch the rod here on the left is my bottom rod with the knocker rig on it. You'll see the tip fire off here. Again, it was never more than a minute that rod on the bottom that it was going off. So super, super productive on the bottom. Just wish the bigger fish were coming up. So either next time I need to go out and go a little deeper. And you can see this was marketed for 90 minutes. That's after an hour, and there's still a lot of chum left in here. And again, you can see how thick the fish were down on the bottom. It's not showing the ballyhoo. I was surrounded by ballyhoo, but this did a really good job of keeping fish down near the bottom. That's it for today. I recommend that chum. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time here on Lower Keys Living.